Okay, we're back. Another exciting jazz
Oh, this one
compilations.
is going to be exciting. I'm going to tell you that right now.
These are out of Dizzy's collection. And, I was so excited today. I left the house and I didn't even change my shoes. I was wearing slippers. So I came over to Dizzy's with slippers. I also have no eyeglasses. Because
I took his bib
jumped
off
right out.
before I'd even let him show this.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Kept everything nice and clean.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do we have first up?
Well, I'm going to show the jazz collections compilations that are my favorites. These are records that I really treasure.
Okay.
Now,
So these might be rare gems then? Instead of jazz
oh, they
compilations?
could be rare gems. Yeah, they're
okay.
to me they are certainly.
Okay. All right.
And I think some of them are rather hard to find. So the first one would be especially hard to find.
MRC.
Jazz of 2 decades, and it's interesting on these records that they break out that it's jazz of the 50s, jazz of the 40s, and jazz is broken out into Chicago jazz, Kansas City, Ellingtonia, swing, rag, bop, and avant-garde. So you have an awful lot of categories there that I don't always think about, you know. But and a lot we think of Kansas City and we think of Chicago, but Detroit brought a lot of jazz. Detroit, New York, Philadelphia. John Coltrane came out of Philadelphia. Miles Davis came out of Philadelphia. Philadelphia.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing a Super Bowl one where it was going to be Kansas City versus Philadelphia.
Yeah, well,
and there
there's
are
a lot of jazz
artists.
in more American cities than you'd think. And then when you get to the West Coast and you get to L.A. and San Francisco and even Seattle had its own. And we're kind of proud of our guys that came out of Seattle as well.
Yeah.
So this is a good record.
I have the books Leonard Feathers did. I see he wrote the liner notes on the back here.
Yeah.
And he did his books, jazz of the 50s, jazz of the 60s, as I remember. The Art of Jazz or something like that, I feel.
I think you got the title right.
But I'm sure they're all good. Can you give me some of the names of some of the artists on the back, maybe?
You may have to go to the record on that. Johnny Hodges, I see that. And that would be in the Ellingtonia. Kansas City, that might be Johnny Lockjaw. No, it's Count Basie. That makes sense. And avant-garde is Letty Tristano. Letty Tristano didn't have that many albums, but to the people that are jazz musicians that are now performing, he's a big one. George Russell is another big name in avant-garde jazz, who originally...
You know me, I don't really go for avant-garde, so I don't know either of those artists.
George Russell actually wrote a book explaining to other jazz musicians how to compose for jazz recordings. And he wanted a different type of scale of music.
Yeah, you got Charlie Ventura, Coleman Hawkins, Pete Johnson, Joe Turner. Joe Turner, I think.
Those
more
are all
like
Kansas City.
blues.
Those are all Kansas City. There.
Do you think Joe Turner was more jazz than blues, or?
No, this is definitely in some of the rhythm and blues there.
Okay,
too.
okay, all right.
But at Kansas City, we have to think of more as in the rhythm and blues.
So what next?
Well, this was a good series, and I hope that many of the people that watch our
I think I have that one.
and actually I have it in 2 forms. I have the original and a reissue. This is the same album.
Oh yeah. Huh. Well, that's interesting. I might have both of these as well.
Yeah.
Back at the Chicken Shack with Jimmy Smith. I Quebec. I haven't heard of him.
Oh, he died early. That's why you didn't hear of him. He was a big name, but because of drugs, he left our scene too soon.
Eric
Yes.
Dolphy, he left early too, didn't he?
Who was that?
Eric Dolphy?
Yes, he died at age 34.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kenny Burrell's on
For
here.
a young man, he had a number of recordings though, as a sideman and
Oh yeah.
on his own. You
No,
know.
I've seen quite a number over the years.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. This looks pretty good.
Yes.
People and Lonnie Smith.
Donald Byrd's Cristo Redemptor is my favorite on this. It has a choir backing it. And when I first heard it, it seemed like I saw the South, and I saw it was like I saw the slaves receiving freedom and progressing, and it just seemed so inspirational. It's a really great tune, done by Duke Jordan. Duke Jordan wrote that. Cristo Redemptor. Charlie Musselwhite, on his first album, did a really good rendition of it as well. And Harvey Mandel later put it on his first album, Cristo Redemptor, and it was the most popular cut on that album.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I like
So
that one.
these are, and of course, Blue Note is a fabulous jazz label. Started in 1939, but the period that I love the best is like from about 52 to 65. And between these two records, which are the same, which is 59 to 69, here's the first one, which is 1949 to 1959. These are all double albums. And
I do remember that one too.
yeah. And here we have Bud Powell, Thelonious Monk, Horace Silver, Milt Jackson, J.J. Johnson. You know me in trombones.
Oh, I'm with you.
love that
J.J.
stuff.
Johnson. Oh,
I'm getting
Teddy
hot
Winding.
right now.
Yeah,
I'm getting hot.
yeah.
I can feel it. Miles Davis. We got Jimmy Smith. We got John Coltrane. Oh, we're getting really burning hot now, aren't we? Oh, I'm getting
That's
on
a hard
fire.
ass.
You know, I started.
Let me cool you
I
off.
started a little bit on the, like, I don't know if I can get into this today, and now I'm like, where's a record store?
Oh no, danger.
Oh, I got
danger.
How much money do I got?
Hold him back. Hold him
Whoa,
back.
whoa! All these names, I kind of like go. I could use one record of each of these guys. Additionally, let's fill a hole here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I like the way they produced this too. You know, these are excellent covers with photographs inside of the
Yeah.
artists and all.
And then some writing about the
good,
artists as
good
well.
liner notes, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
you know,
All-
you
all
can't
good
go wrong
stuff.
with Blue Note. You
No,
cannot.
no, and some people aren't into compilations, but I'm sorry, there's some good compilations out there.
Well, especially when they're talking about the best of these artists, the best. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Like I say, you just can't.
Let you know.
Donald Byrd's Cristo Redemptor. I could listen to that any day, any
Right.
day.
So it's and you might find it a little less expensive, out there to find compilations, because some people don't look in the compilations. They're looking for that one artist. They're looking in the Miles Davis section, and they're looking in the Duke Ellington section, but they don't think, oh, maybe I'll go look at the very beginning here of where they have the compilations and see what might be floating in there. And there's some sweet stuff.
Now we think of Impulse, and we think of Blue Note, and we think of Verb, but not always this label, which had a really good stable of jazz artists. Atlantic. This is just like the Blue Notes, double album. It's got Ray Charles. It's got Les McCann. Of course, this is a little bit later.
Yeah,
But
Mose
still
Allison.
in the 60s and 70s, Rashawn Roland Kirk. We got Jimmy Guthrie. We got Freddie Hubbard. I love Freddie Hubbard. Of the trumpet players, and my brother's a trumpet player, he could tell you better than I. But, of course, everybody thinks of people like Miles Davis.
Well, me, I always like the
Kenny
high.
Dorham,
I was a little
but-
later, so I was more listening to like Maynard Ferguson,
Yeah.
and Bill Chase, and,
Right.
and guys like that. But you know, the laid back kind of jazz trumpet I wasn't as into, but it's still very good stuff. Les McCann, Eddie Harris, Compared to What? I always love that song and that record. I can't think of the title of that record right now. Swiss Movement?
Swiss Movement, yes.
But David Newman, Shorty
Hank
Rogers
Crawford.
and his Giants.
Bill Evans, I see, is back there, isn't it? Yeah.
And you got Milt Jackson, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then you've got your, like you're saying, the free jazz or
Is that really
or
Bill
avant-garde. There's the Charles Lloyd Quartet.
I take that back. There isn't Bill Evans. Bill Evans was never on Atlantic.
Yeah.
So I made an error there. To all my fans out there, I did make an error there, okay? I'm going to admit a flaw there. I had like a brain block. But no, Bill Evans is never on Atlantic. No. Started in Prestige.
I didn't hear you say it, but okay,
No.
if you think you said it,
I did.
I'll go
I
with
did.
it.
I did.
Ooh, this has a weird fold out too.
Wow,
Oh,
look at
this
that.
thing.
Whoa, and fold out upon fold out.
Yeah, so
Wow.
huge.
Wow.
Huge.
Wow.
Oh, and of course I'm dropping the record out.
Wow.
I'll be getting
Well, you have
cards
it
and letters
upside
on that.
down. Yeah.
Yeah. But,
Well, the 25 is supposed to be really big.
is it 25 or? Oh, I guess it's
Yeah,
25.
it is 25.
The early years.
When you had it upside down, you know that?
Did I?
Yeah. Let me show
Oh,
you.
let me see. Is that? Oh, wait. Look at it. Tell me that's upside down.
Oh, no, that's not. Okay.
That's not it.
What that is really, that's a unique album. Look at that. That cover is fantastic.
Yeah, that's different.
Okay.
All right.
So if you're in your neighborhood record store, see if you can find any of these records because these are excellent records. Excellent. You will not be disappointed. Now these are definitely later. Definitely later. Let's go with this series. There was a whole series of these records, and
Is this also Atlantic?
this had hard bop,
Yeah, Atlantic.
straight jazz. This had bebop, avant-garde, fusion. It had trombones, or it broke it out. All kinds of records.
Yeah, you got John Coltrane, Milt Jackson. You got Sonny Stitt, Thelonious Monk, Art Blakey, Dizzy Gillespie. That's got to be Dizzy Gillespie again. The Salt Peanuts. Philly Joe Jones, Max Roach. So many of the giants of jazz. So a nice, package, and have some things written
This
on the back.
this
telling you about
series could,
stuff.
at the time, I remember it in a box set that was the CDs. I do not remember this being available as a box set in the
LPs.
LPs. And it probably was in CDs as well, a box set, because it was nice to have the complete set, and then you'd have A to Z of jazz. So really good, really good. And here's an impulse collection, and this is really from the best years of jazz. This would be 55 to 65, and you have all the greats: Oliver Nelson, Ahmad Jamal. We have
Sonny
Duke
Rollins,
Ellington.
Sonny Rollins, Art Blakey,
John Coltrane,
Gil Evans,
Count Basie,
Pharoah Sanders,
Benny Carter,
Charles Mingus.
Quincy Jones. Real good stuff.
Real good stuff. And that's also looks like a 2-record set.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about the the artwork on the inside. I'm not so thrilled with that. But
Well, I'm not that thrilled with the artwork on the outside. I think this is probably one reason.
Right, the promotion.
And it's got promotional
only right on the
on
outside
it.
of it. Yeah. But
Kind of a dead giveaway, wouldn't you say? To print on the promotional only.
yeah. But I see the writing. They have a whole bunch of text here, and the artwork behind it is blurring out the text. So I mean, it's hard enough for us older guys to read what's written. I mean, that's one of the arguments
make it
against
harder.
CDs.
But it tells you all the albums that it's from.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
all
No, that's
the
great.
albums
Oh,
it's from.
I can search on a buying spree right there.
Yeah.
Great.
Not that we need an excuse for a buying spree.
It says KM Burbank, California, custom pressed. audiophile. So
Yeah.
that might it might
I
be a
think
little
that's a metal. The M in that is for metal.
Oh.
So it's a metal
Wow.
tape, I suppose.
I see.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, that's the last of that
Oh,
series.
and you know what? I did have more,
Oh yeah, well,
but I used restraint
that's good.
because I know how precious everybody's time is
Exactly.
nowadays. You
I'm
know,
with you.
I like to do that.
Good, right. You
Stick
gotta-
with the gold, and
and
then
move
for
on.
another
Move on.
day, you can go with something that's just a little bit on the second tier. You know?
Nah.
No?
Now I'm gonna be like Dizzy and go, nah, forget all that second tier stuff. Just go for the heart of the
The
gold.
gold.
Give me the good stuff.
I knew I lied to you. I'm out of here.
All
This
right,
is Dizzy.
camp out.
Bye.